This is Yosef Bruer for ESFI, and I'm sitting with the general manager of IPL, David Ting. David, how's it going?
I'm doing great.
That's awesome. How has the event been for you so far?
As a fan, everything was amazing. So I watched the games on StarCraft as well as League of Legends. Every matchup seems to be as good as some of the finals out there. So it's really just as a fan perspective, it's a dream come true.
Can you comment on some of the stream numbers and how it's been looking? Has this been the most successful IPL?
Yes, I haven't added up all of the numbers yet, but from preliminary just scanning through some of the real-time data, it looks like it's much more successful than IPL4. So we're all very encouraged by the results.
The front page of IGN.com contained a direct stream to the event. Are the higher-ups at IGN satisfied with the growth of IPL throughout the year?
Absolutely. I think IPL is a great story. We have grown almost double our traffic every 6 months. So it's something that you don't see much in the internet world unless you're sitting on something that's very precious. So from a front page perspective, you can see the support of the rest of the executive on the team. They believed in the product so much that IPL5 is the first live event where we take over the cover story of the homepage. So it really is a strong statement that we're here and we're going to continue to invest in esports.
Do you think that growth or double the growth every 6 months will stay consistent?
It's getting pretty hard. So let's just say that we are, if we look at the total, we're going to set some records. And then we'll put a release out when we have all of the details validated. But we're very encouraged with 2012 result, and we're looking forward to 2013.
Well, IPL has always been one of the more extravagant productions of the esports circuit. For next year, do you plan on changing the venue at all, or what can we expect? Or can we expect you to come back to the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas?
Yeah, I can announce to you that we're going to be back at the Cosmopolitan on IPL6. So it's going to be the last week of March. So it's March 28th through 31st.
Awesome. That's great news. What are the advantages and disadvantages of having such an extravagant production here in the Cosmo?
The only disadvantage I can think of is cost, and then that's really the only pain point I had to deal with whenever we come to the IPL event. So the advantages, there's so many, right? So there's a lot of mainstream audience who fall in love with the production because just like a concert, it's produced just like a sporting event, like a boxing match or a UFC fight. So for me, it's really important to churn the mass, the mainstream audience to really start loving esports. So I was talking to some of the security guard as well as some of the people who were checking in people downstairs, and a few of them actually became fans of esports, and they asked me for tickets, which I grant them for, and then they really enjoyed the event.
Well, can you give us a little sneak peek of what games we might see at the next IPL? We're going to expect to see everything here, maybe anything added?
I think that from if you look at space perspective, we're a little bit constrained. So we definitely are looking for opportunities to expand the footprint of IPL at IPL6. From a game perspective, we already announced it. So we're going to add Capcom and Tecmo. And we're really looking into launching fighters the right way in 2013.
All right. Well, this has been the second IPL this year. With GOM TV doing the production and bringing a lot of content to America, what incentives do you feel GOM has coming to the U.S. and helping IPL grow as well?
I think that from a partnership perspective, it is extremely important to have an exchange of Western production with Eastern production so you can bridge the gap between the two and grow fan base across the world. So that's we share the same philosophy between the two of us, and we really are working hard to continue the partnership and even in many scenarios deepen it next year.
Well, GOM TV came full force at this event. I'm sure you can agree on that, hosting the second ever foreigner Kodesh Championship. On top of that, the World Championships. I mean, do you feel these events detracted away, though, from the main focus of the IPL5 tournament for StarCraft 2?
I look at it from a fan perspective. We always try to improve our events. Maybe we improved it a little bit too much. Where, if you look at the original IPL competition, IPL5 had some of the top 72 players in the world playing here, competing for us. But we just think that adding Kodesh Championship as well as a World Championship, we add so many different flavors of the competition. And really, for StarCraft fan, it's a dream come true. From my personal perspective, the more good games they are, the better it is for me. So I cannot get tired of this content.
Well, you guys also changed the format for StarCraft 2 from the last event to this one. What do you think about these two different formats, seeing them both played out now, and which one is your favorite?
I like this one better because even the round one competition is extremely strong. So I'm looking at that as a fan. There's no boring day or no lull where you say that, hey, there's one side that's really heavily favored. Anyone can win any match. And I think that's exactly the excitement of sport, is having a very heavily talented bracket where every competition matters, and it's really hard to get to the top. And that means really, like, when you capture the IPL5 crown, you really did something amazing.
Well, of course, I have to ask you about the partnership between ESL, DreamHack, and MLG. Were you aware of these talks going on, and why do you feel IPL wasn't included?
We were not initially included, so I was aware of the talk. So I heard from industry sources this is going on. And we are talking to them after this event to see if it makes sense for me to join. I expressed in a Valencia Esports Congress that, in my viewpoint, IPL rather stay as an independent organization, and so that it's faster for me to innovate and change the format than to run through approval or a set of committees. For me, the advantages has to be very strong for me to join a coalition of leagues because I don't see the immediate benefits of doing so.
Do you think some of the other companies may look at you badly for that? I mean, basically saying you want to be, top dog, you want to lead the way and just fight until the end. Do you think that's the way they look at it, or just business?
For me, I don't see myself as a top dog. We have 18 months of history. So we started from very humble beginning with a $5,000 tournament in April last year. So the way I see it is that you have to continue to innovate to foster the growth of the scene. So for me, it's more about focusing on the growth and less focused about what the community thinks or what other leagues think, because for me, it's about building the best possible product.
Well, you tweeted that you were in talks with the publishers, Blizzard and Riot, that made this partnership quote, redundant, unquote. Can you comment on that at all? I mean, you said, indeed, what's puzzling to me is that the publishers are establishing the same system. MLG, ESL, and DreamHack's efforts seem redundant. I mean, did you want to comment on?
Yeah, sure. So Blizzard and Riot has its own point system. And on top of it, they're actually creating a calendar for a major tournament to register into. So given that, there should not be conflict in the calendar because they're managing that. Second is the points that they put into the system basically is built into the client, so you can see it as part of your profile. So I felt like that is a better experience for the gamer, where if you participate in a certain tournament, they will be added to your Battle.net account. That is more integrated to the core experience. So that's why, from my standpoint, at least with my limited understanding, I feel like that makes more sense to me.
Well, given that, if those organizations go along with the master tournament calendar, how will that affect IPL if you guys don't decide to join on?
We'll work with the publisher calendar. So as long as a publisher calendar does the same, goal, accomplishes the same goal, I think we're fine. The publishers wants to really make sure that tournaments are spaced out properly. And given that, if we join one or the other, that's why I said the efforts seem redundant from my viewpoint.
Well, are you optimistic or pessimistic at all about the future of esports?
I'm very optimistic. So if I look at it from a fan perspective, I look within the IGN organization, we send so many people to this event, and everybody I talk to, seeing esports for the first time, they don't believe how passionate an audience is. And then many of them, and I would say most of them, actually turn into fans. They say that they will watch stream afterwards. So the more we run events, the more we come in with fans like we do today. I think that there is going to be a continued growth in the scene.
Well, what can we expect from IPL in 2013, and where do you see yourself at this time next year?
In 2013, we're going to run 4 events, so I expect our team getting more efficient. So we're compressing a 6-month cycle into a 3-month cycle, which means that we have to do everything twice as fast, quickly. That's really something that I believe is going to be a challenge and really makes us more efficient as a team. We're not going to add staff to make that happen. On top of that, my expectation for myself is that we grow from event to event. So we improve on ourselves. So what I hope for is that by the end of next year, when I'm sitting over here, the views are going to be better. there will be more articles covering us, and there will be more fans, and we're probably sitting in a bigger space than we are in today.
Are those events going to be seasonal, the way they're going to spread out next
I don't
year?
believe seasonality has anything to do with the validity of the competition. For me, being an engineer, the more important aspect of it is making sure that it's spaced out equally. So every 3 months works, right? So the key here is that it doesn't really matter if it's spring, because if you go global, spring may mean different things at different part of the year.
Well, thank you very much, Dave, for the interview. Did you want to give any last words or final thoughts?
Yes. Well, first of all, thank you for interviewing me. Keep doing all the things, the great things that you're doing, and spreading love of esports across the world. And second is I want to thank the fan and really continue to preach the gospel of esport around the world. Really, the more fans there are, I think the more of us really share the joy of what it brings.
All right. Well, thank you once again.
Great. Thank you for the opportunity.